Hello everybody, thank you for coming to this week's video blog here at California Realty Training. My name is Robert Rico. Again, I'm hoping to bring you a nice gift today, and that gift is the gift of information. Something that'll make you that much better in your real estate career. And if you're just getting started, don't sweat it. You're gonna love this stuff. Today's topic is how to work with a difficult realtor. Ooh, that's a tough one. How to work with somebody who's got a challenging personality. How to work with somebody who might not be the best person to have to deal with on a daily basis. What am I talking about? Ready? Here it goes. You're going to get your real estate license. You got it? Yeah, you got your real estate license. You're going to open up an escrow. Hopefully one day you're going to open up an escrow. Yeah, you open up an escrow and you're going to represent the seller. Well, somebody's going to represent the buyer, right? Now this is the deal. Whoever represents the buyer, they have their own ways of doing things themselves. You're going to represent your, what we call principal, your seller. They're going to represent their buyer in this transaction that you guys are doing together. This escrow is put together. You both put it together. You as a listing agent and they as a buyer's agent have put this together. Now let's assume that this escrow is going honky-dory. It's going beautifully. Inspection. Everything's done. Inspection. Everything's done. Paperwork's in. Everything's rolling on pretty decent the first few days. But then all of a sudden, what happens? The other realtor from the other team stops communicating with you. Somehow, some way they have a negative attitude towards you. They're treating you pretty doggone bad. That can make your day pretty darn frustrating. We don't want that. Let me remind you of something. Ready? Before we go any further, let me remind you of something. When you open an escrow, you aren't the only one involved in this escrow. Let's put that out on the table. You aren't the only one involved in this escrow. You're talking about your principal is involved, people's lives are involved, people who are buying and selling these properties are involved, escrow people are involved, there's a lot of people who are involved in this escrow. Not just you. You got it? A lot of people are riding on this escrow to close. The last thing you want is for somebody's negative attitude to block you from getting there. Please put this in your brain and let it stay there forever. You don't want somebody's negative attitude to stop you from getting to that finish line. You have an obligation to your client, you have an obligation to this transaction to get it to the finish line. You with me? This is what I want you to do. You'll be working with other agents, other brokers. We call that cooperating brokers. You'll be working with these. There's a reason why we use the word cooperating, because they're supposed to be doing what? Yeah, cooperating, right? But sometimes they don't. And sometimes these other agents are difficult. Hell, it might be you. Sometimes you might be difficult. We don't want you to be difficult. We want you to be pleasant. In any event, if they're being difficult, we want you to remind them of one thing. Number one, I want you to remind yourself that you and them should keep it professional at all times. Got it? Keep it professional at all times. Doesn't matter what's going on in your private life. Doesn't matter what's going on in anywhere. You got to keep this transaction professional at all times. Number two, I want you to keep communication open all the time. Without communication, this ain't going to happen. That's the least they can do. When the other agent isn't communicating, that's when most things go awry because you don't know what's going on. That's a very difficult agent. If they're not communicating with you, if they're not responding to your emails, if they're not calling you back, if they're not texting you back, if they're not sending you SOS signals, smoke signals, something, they're not getting back to you, that's a difficult agent, isn't it? Of course it is. Last but not least, I want you to remember that they need to be proactive. Most agents who are difficult aren't proactive. They take the easy way out. They don't want to do anything. They expect you to do everything. Again, as cliche as this sounds, ready? It takes two to tango. They are going to get paid handsomely just as you are, typically, and you're both supposed to pull your own weight. Some agents don't want to pull their own weight. They just don't. They figure, oh, this will work out itself. The escrow will work out itself. Escrow will do this. The title company will do this. The other agent, which is you, will do this. And they kind of pump their brakes and sit back and don't do much. They aren't very proactive. You need to remind them that they have to pull their weight. Ready? Here it comes. What if they don't do any of these things? What if they aren't professional? What if their communication skills are poor? What if they're not proactive? What if they're none of these three? What do? You're just going to wing it and hope this works out? No. The last thing you can do, of course, is approach their actual broker. Approach their broker at their office. If there's actually a problem and you aren't getting these things done, the professionalism isn't there, the communication isn't there, they're not being proactive, and it can stop this transaction from closing, which is the last thing we want to do. Then by all means, please go to the manager, what we call broker. You got to contact the broker and say, hey, your agent here isn't doing these things, which may put this transaction at risk. And nobody wants that, because when that happens, everybody loses, including that broker. Got it? Good. Hope you learned something today. We really try to bring you some great quality education to you so you can take it with you. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so right down below. And if you have any questions or a topic that we haven't hit yet and you would like for us to dissect it, discuss it, leave it down below and we'll see what we can do about it. All right? Have a great day. Hope to see you next week.